Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. And today we're talking about 1984, Chapter 1, Part 7. We left Winston and he was, what was he doing? Writing in his diary.
He was actually trying to stop the urge of shouting out filthy words at the top of his voice. Because he was so upset
About having to screw the prostitute, the old lady prostitute at the subway station. Remember?
Yes. So that was very upsetting for him.
Yeah, it would be for me too. Could you imagine? You all think that you're following this hot, sexy young bitch, and then you get in there and she's all like snaggletooth
50
and like gray hair, and her snatch is probably all wrinkly, and she's like, her lips are probably like fluttering in the wind of the train station.
I think menopause got her all dried up.
All right. Well, anyways, children should not be listening to this. So here we are. Winston is writing in his book again and in his diary. And he starts off with, if there is hope, it lies in the proles.
Yeah.
And so he had mentioned the word proles before in the previous chapters, and I just kind of went over it and didn't actually define it until now. And I actually looked it up to see what the fuck a prole is.
I thought it was like a parolee.
No, it's Proles, and it means a member of the working class. That's it, just a lower class. So he's part of the party member, so it's like he's a political type figure, like he's in the cabinet or whatever, you know? And everybody below him that's like working is not a parolee, they're just a parole.
Oh, parole.
There's no A. Parole is parolee.
See, I'm thinking about like the
You're
law
thinking
enforcement.
about jail and shit.
Yeah, like a parolee, yeah.
No, it's a parole, and they're just like the working
because
class.
so many people get arrested for thought crimes and shit. I'm thinking
I know,
everybody's like a fucking parolee, yeah.
So pretty much he's saying if there's hope, it lies within the working class. It lies within the people that are below the party.
Okay, yeah,
so
that
it would
makes
lie
sense.
within us.
Yeah.
So
we would be parolee.
Yes, we're not paroles. It's parole.
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 Okay.
All done with it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. I have to say, like, anytime I'm learning something new, I have to say it like 5 times, like somebody's name or something.
Hey, Heather.
I'll be like, Jenna. Okay, I got your name.
Heather likes highlighters.
I do like highlighters. I highlight my whole book.
One of the first episodes that we did, Heather said in the middle, like randomly, I like highlighters.
It's like the little boy on YouTube. I like turtles.
Yeah. And so now every time my husband sees Heather, he's like, I like highlighters. Hey, Heather, I like highlighters.
No, he's like, Heather, do you like highlighters? I'm like, yeah, I do.
Oh my gosh. So
I like things to be very organized.
I do too. I'm Post-it notes though. Like, yeah. You're like over there with your book highlighting and I'm underlining and then I'm Post-iting everything. I'm more of a Post-it person. I literally didn't realize how much I love Post-its until I got my current job and my whole desk is like Post-its, and I'll be like freaking out and I'll be yelling for my assistant. I'll be like, Jackie, give me my Post-its, give me my where's the Post-it? Where did all my Post-its go?
Oh my god, did you see? I don't know if it was like a reel or if it was like, where did I see it? TikTok or Instagram or maybe a reel or it was like a prank show where they do like Post-it notes over and everybody, like the entire room was just like Post-it notes.
To make a picture?
No, it was just like to fuck with somebody.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember what it was.
I remember
but it was
during,
like Post-it notes everywhere. It was like it covered from ceiling to floor. Post-it notes, every chair, like everything. I'd have to look it up.
God,
but if you look online, there's somewhere, and yeah, it's just a bunch of. It's all one color, and it's just Post-it notes. It's crazy. I was like, oh my god.
That would be intense to do that with like regular like sized paper, like construction paper or something, but just to have it all one color. That would be like
But it was actually the size of
the little tiny 3x3s.
Post-it notes.
Did you see during COVID? They were doing people in like office or in their apartment buildings, whatever. They were making like pictures with the Post-it notes.
Oh yes,
and they'd make really cool ones. Like they made like Mario Brothers in Japan and shit like that.
They do like
they got really into it.
Yeah,
I should have done
portraits. The portrait.
Yeah, we could have done that because of my living room window is so fucking large. I mean, the only person that would see it would be my neighbor. But that'd be it, because it doesn't face the street. But it'd be really cool to look at from the backyard.
I'm just thinking about Nicolas Cage.
Oh my God, we are so off topic, Heather, but that one is really funny.
Yeah.
I really think that we should definitely...
We'll have to get into that another time.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so anyways, so Winston, so pretty much Winston thinks that it's a numbers game. To overthrow the party and Big Brother, he's saying that if every prole was able to come together, that they could overthrow. Yeah. Which is so true, because we could do that right now. We could overthrow the people. If everybody got together and we were united, we could overthrow whoever, like the president or whoever. But it's almost like they want us to be divided, so we can't. Like, the media is always trying to, like, you know, you're a Fox listener, you're a CNN listener. Well, fuck you. I'm a KUSI listener. What you got for that? What do you got for that? You know, I don't get it. So, but yeah, so they try to keep us apart just so that we don't go together. And then here they have the thought crimes and the thought police, so you can't like, I would never be able to hang out with you like this, share opinions, and then form a little freaking... We would have been obliterated, or what's the word? Oh my God. Like, so long ago. Vaporized. I would have been like 5 and gotten vaporized. We would have been
vaporized before we met each other.
Yeah, for sure. So anyways, Winston seems to be holding on to the hope that maybe the proles will riot and stop everything. Yeah. And one time he thought it did happen. And he heard all this ruckus.
With the women, right?
Yeah. And he's like, woohoo, it's happening. So he goes to go see.
He's like, finally sheep are waking up.
Doing something, yeah. And it was women that were fighting over saucepans, because they were so scared to have, like, any saucepans that they were literally, all these women were fighting over them. And
well, it just shows, like, how everything is rationed. Yeah. And the fact that you don't even have a pan to cook with.
Yeah.
I mean, just a basic necessity. At least, like, one good saucepan.
Yeah, when I cook,
one good pan.
When I cook anything, I have, like, 4 pans out to do the meat, the sauce, the noodles, you know.
No, they get one pan.
And I need to saute. Like, I don't even know. It would be cold before we got to finish everything.
Exactly.
You know? Like, you can't just do 1-pan meals.
So he's over here thinking that everyone is all hyped up about going against the party and, like,
they're rebelling. Just like, we want a saucepan.
Saucepan.
You know what it reminds me of? Black Friday!
Oh my God! We both were thinking the same thing. Yes, Black Friday.
Yeah.
People would
are fighting over TVs and
like,
I did that one time.
I went to Black Friday once.
I did it one time, and it was so cold. And I got
never again.
I got my parents their first flat screen TV though.
Okay.
I did it for my parents. So, I have a good heart, guys. Just so you know. Heather's a bitch. I have a good heart.
No. I went for my kids when they were little because I went with one of my girlfriends at the time. Her name is Michelle. And she's like, let's go and get kids stuff. Because there was, like, specific toys that were... I don't remember because this is, like... the early, like, probably 2012, 13. And whatever was, like, the hot toy of that year, it's, like... very limited. You know how toys are.
It's so weird.
And I don't remember what it was, but we had to get this fucking toy. Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but we got it. We got the toys. We got a bunch of fucking toys. More toys than the kids needed. And it was for the kids. And, but I remember feeling like a zombie in the morning because, you know, you go at like midnight or whatever. I wait in line. You're there, and this is when we had Toys R Us. Yeah, this is when Toys R Us was still around. So you like wait in line for Toys R Us.
And this is before Cyber Monday.
Yeah, there was no Cyber Monday or anything, and you're just walking around like a zombie trying to get everything, and people are like, you know, kind of fighting over it. People are kind of rushing in and running in and shit, trying to get the toys. And it's like, I never again. I hated it. I never did it again.
Well, now with Cyber Monday, you don't really have to. Like, you just don't have to. They do so much online. I did mine. I think it was 2010, 11. And I went to Target and we got the TV because they had the really good, but they only have 15 in stock of each size. And I ended up getting my parents 55-inch flat screen.
Yeah.
Where before they had a big like 20 or 32-inch big TV, like box TV.
Yeah.
Like they had never even had a flat screen yet.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to get that for them was like huge for me. I'm spending my own money. I was only a preschool teacher. You know, I wasn't making like any money.
Yeah.
So it was super exciting. I got to get that for them, and then they and then after that, I got my Nintendo Wii.
Oh yeah.
I ended up getting that. It was so popular at the time, so I ended up getting that. And then, you know that big brown, huge ass blanket that I have at my house? It's on my bed right now, but it'll go into the living room sometimes, and it's fuzzy, like wool on one side, and it's really dark brown.
I mean, I'm trying to remember your blankets. I don't know.
It's like a king size blanket. And it's like wool on one side, and it's I got it for like $10.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, and I still have it.
It's so
and
warm,
it's been like 14 years, and it's so crappy now. Like the wool is like not comfy. It's like scratchy now. It's just not even.
But see, I have my favorite blankets. Like I have quilts.
Yeah.
You know? And they're so worn in. It's like the quilts, they get better over time.
Different. That's different. Wool doesn't get better over time. It gets bad. It doesn't work. But anyways, yeah, so I did that. And then, so the next day when I was like a zombie,
yeah,
I didn't have any kids. You had to deal with them. I just played the Wii all day and slept.
Well, they could have been at their dad's house. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably did deal with them.
But I do remember being like so tired. And then I ended up even going to Kmart after Target.
Oh my god!
Because we drove by and there wasn't that many people out front, and I was like, well, let's just stop by there too. I mean, it's not like we have to wait in line. It's like 6 in the morning, 8 in the morning now.
Special.
Why not? So we went to Kmart too, and I remember getting a bunch of like Christmas presents, but the Kmart, it wasn't as good as the Target.
I remember loving to go to Kmart when I was little with my parents. My mom, because my mom loved Kmart because it was like that's where everybody shopped when I was little, like. In the early 80s, we used to go to Kmart. I'm aging myself. But yeah. And I remember they had like, I don't know if it was a Thrifties ice cream. I guess it wasn't because it wasn't Thrifties, but they had
it could have been.
Could have been like the brand. I don't know. But they had the
Thrifties
bubblegum ice cream.
That's Thrifties.
I always no, but they had it at Kmart.
They might have had it inside Kmart.
I always wanted I would always get the bubblegum.
Target used to have the popcorn and the pretzels and all the good stuff, and they don't got that no more. They have a Starbucks.
I mean, Starbucks is good, but
that's great, but I want my fucking popcorn and pretzel, okay?
I mean, the one in...
Now I have to go to the movie theater and get my popcorn and pretzel.
There is a Target close to my house, and it does have like a little like...
Cafeteria thing?
Like a cafeteria thing, but they have like pizzas, like the like school kind of pizzas and stuff.
Yeah, the personal pizzas, that's what they used to have. They probably have the popcorn and everything. You're probably the last...
They do, they do have it there. You'd have to go to the one across the street from my house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be going there soon. Anyways.
Field trip.
So, other than that field trip down memory lane, let's get back to this book.
People are probably like, what the fuck is Kmart?
Google it. You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So the
department store. Well,
the rest
like a Walmart. It was like a Walmart.
Yeah. It was like Walmart, Kmart. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then he goes on to write, until they become conscious, they will never rebel. And until after they have rebelled, they cannot become conscious.
So now you're talking about the women that are trying to get
anybody, the pearls.
Yeah.
It's like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
Like you can't do one until the other, like it contradicts itself. And then he goes into the how everyone is so happy with Big Brother and how he's liberated them and the revolution and everything has been great, because before women had to work in the coal mines, and then it's like almost like he had an aha moment and he's like, wait a minute, women are still working in the coal mines.
Yeah, but so not only the women, what about the children?
Then we go into that the children had been sold into the factories at the age of 6.
So what does that remind you of now?
That reminds me of little India or African little kids, China.
The factory workers.
Yeah, that are sweatshops that they're paying little like 6-year-olds
like 2 cents a day or something.
Yeah, even the adults and stuff. But you know, it's cool because we get our money.
Well, no, it's really sad because that's why everybody says, like, you need to buy a Made in America, because we're Americans. Obviously, you want to buy Made in America.
But it's going to cost so much money that nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to make money or do you want to give money to other countries? What are we doing here? Make up your mind.
But then it's like when you buy stuff that is made in other countries, it's like you don't know if you're supporting child like forced labor, but at the same, like, I mean, it is a form of slavery.
Yeah,
you know.
but it's cool.
It's like you don't know, so it's like I think that we don't really want to think about it. Like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to think that these shoes or the shirt or whatever was sewn by somebody who was like a child, you know,
an 8-year-old that's in a sweatshop, being like beat.
But then you don't want to pay, you know, what it would pay.
$150 for a pair of jeans.
Exactly.
Because
so it's kind of like a
during the beginning of COVID, when it really became apparent that we depended on other countries so much, and really U.S. manufacturing is really gone. Like we can't even. We've talked about it before.
Outsource so much.
Yeah, medicines. Like we had we couldn't get our medicines.
Yeah.
Because everything is outsourced.
A lot of that comes from
whether
China,
it's
though.
EPA or it's because they just can't afford to pay people here compared to paying somebody 2 cents a day or $2 a day or whatever instead of $15 a freaking hour. I was trying to buy Made in America stuff to support small.
I have also, yeah.
No. So at the beginning, I got the boys some trucks, toys that were made in America. But I got these pair of jeans and I fucking love them and I really want to get more, but I haven't gotten to my good weight yet. So I'll probably never buy them again because I'll always be fat. But
oh my God, stop! You're not fat. She's not fat. For the record, no.
But no,
not at all.
The company, it's based in Florida, and they even
no body shaming.
Shut up. They even wrote me a little cute note that was like, thanks for ordering from us, but they're 100% made in America and they're called Bullet Blues.
Ooh, okay.
And the jeans, but they're like $150.
That's the thing. Yeah.
And that's the only problem. But they're so good. Like, you know how you get
if you get a few pairs, so you'll be good for the year.
Forever.
Yeah,
because I bought the jeans 3 or 4 years ago and I wear them during winter time. Whenever it's cold, I wear them all the time.
The thing for me is
we're here, so I usually wear shorts and stuff. Because
I know
we're in Southern California.
You love shorts, though. I never wear shorts, even in Southern California. I'll wear a sundress or a dress or leggings. I'm a legging
that's
person.
What we've been doing ever since we started this podcast. I just live in leggings. I bought more leggings.
I'm a legging person. I don't know why.
Because you can move. It's versatile, and you don't have to try to skinny your ass into some jeans.
Yeah.
But when I go to the races tomorrow, I'll be taking my Bullet Blues with me because they last. They're really good. They're long. They fit me perfect. They're stretchy. They're I love them. And I don't know who owns Bullet Blues. We haven't been in contact with them. This is not a paid advertisement.
No, but if you need some good jeans,
and it's American made, and there's a little American flag, you know how the Levi's have that?
Yeah,
it's on the back
that.
where Levi's would be,
Yeah.
No, it's really good, and I always look at it and I want to get more. They have shirts. They have all sorts of stuff. They have men's jeans.
Oh, okay.
And their selection isn't huge, but it's what you need. So.
Yeah, it's for your basics.
Yeah,
so,
and then the shirts are pretty plain, but no, it's good.
I mean, I did notice. I did read in the book, as you did too, and we're talking about the child labor. Really struck me because it's forced child labor.
Yeah,
that's serious,
And then the party, party taught that the pearls were natural inferiors who must be kept in subjection like animals by the application of a few simple rules. So literally, they could have sex, they could do kind of what they want, they could divorce, they could do whatever.
Yeah, they actually that would be who I wanted to be.
They were born, they were grew up
you
in
could
the
actually
gutters.
have a life.
They went to work at 12. They passed through a brief blossoming period of beauty and sexual desire. They married at 20. They were middle-aged at 30. They died for the most part at 60. They had heavy physical work, the care of home and children, petty quarrels with the neighbors, films, football, beer, and above all, gambling filled up the horizon of their minds. To keep them in control was not difficult. A few agents of the thought police even moved among them. So that pretty much sums up our fucking life. Football, beer. And you know what?
I can do without the gambling, the excessive beer and stuff.
Meanwhile,
but
we just bought scratchers.
I know we just bought scratchers. But what I'm saying is at least they had somewhat of a normal life.
They got to,
Yeah, so they got to live. They had some freedom.
But doesn't that feel like that's us?
Yeah, we are the
where the
pearls.
party got to, you know, they had higher expectations.
Well, the government is basically the party.
Okay, like if anybody that Hillary Clinton, if her daughter, what's the Chelsea Clinton, if she got divorced, it would be all over the place. Anything that happens with Prince Harry.
Yeah.
If they get divorced, anything happens to these people that are higher ups, they're not allowed to get divorced.
Because they're celebrities, whether you want to say celebrity or not, they're celebrities.
But they're in the party, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Exactly what the book is saying. And this book was written in the 40s. Mm-hmm. Football beer was that even a thing in the 40s? Did they have the Super Bowl then?
Yeah, they had the Super Bowl.
They've only had like 50 Super Bowls. The Super Bowl has only been around for 50 years.
Well, they've had football. Football's been around forever.
Whatever. I'm just saying.
I know what you mean, though.
Like, to be that, like, in this book, to be just so, like, football and beer. Like, it's weird that in the 40s they're saying football and beer when that wasn't even really a thing. It'd be baseball and beer. You would think that George Orwell would have said baseball and beer. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
It's just weird. I don't know.
I don't think it's weird. I think it's just paralleling
to our lives.
Yeah.
And so you know what I told Max yesterday?
What?
You're gonna die.
What?
It's perfect. I read this part last night.
Yeah.
And yesterday morning, and lately Max, he's in kindergarten and he keeps being like, God, I have to go to school again.
Oh God.
I don't want to go to school. Why is it every day? It's so boring. And I'm like, you have fun with all your little friends. Like, you love it.
You got a long ways to go.
Then I was like, sweetie, you still have 12 and a half more years.
Oh my gosh.
And then after that,
you go to college.
And don't forget that I'm getting dressed. He's in my room being like, but why? And I'm trying to get dressed, like, while I'm having this conversation. And I'm like, and then you get to go to work. And then you get to go to work every day until you're 65. Somewhere in between there, you'll get married, have kids, be standing where I am, and then you get to retire. And as I'm sitting on the bed putting my pants on, I'm like, and then you'll be too old to do anything fun when you can finally do something fun. Yeah. Like, I went through this whole thing, and he just kind of looked at me and walked away.
He's like, this is so depressing.
I don't want to talk to you anymore. So
he's like, I guess I'll go to school.
Right? So then I read this, and I was like, oh my God, it's exactly what I explained to Max earlier. So funny.
I mean, like,
it's the truth, though.
I know, but we need to break away from the Matrix, man. Like,
well, you know, I told him this morning. He was like, "Why do I have to go to school?" It's freaking every day. I don't remember doing this when I was in kindergarten. Like, I remember doing like middle school. Yeah. So then
kindergarten, I was excited about school still.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the beginning of school. I was excited about
Max is already over it. And I was like, Max, he's all, but why? Why not have to go to school?
He's too smart, that's why.
And I was like, dude, because you need to learn how to read and write and do math and, like, science and shit. Like, you have to do stuff.
It's so funny because, like my kids are in high school. Well, high school and junior high, almost high school. Both will be in high school next year. And even like my high schooler, my son, he's always like, what is the point of this? This isn't going to matter. And like, I don't want to say like, no, it doesn't really matter because like, yeah, you need your education. You need to get like your high school diploma. But really, like my high school diploma has never done anything for me, except for it just teaches you how to be like on time,
responsible,
how to be organized, how to like keep deadlines, promises, and how to like socialize. And like, there's things that you do learn from it, but it's not like it's gonna. I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't get an education and should not complete high school.
But we don't know what it's like in other countries. So in America, it seems like after 7th grade, after you've done like algebra and stuff, unless
you're not gonna like need to know the history of, you know, it doesn't matter.
Van Gogh or whatever. It's more of a social thing. That's what my dad always told me. It's more of a social thing. So if somebody says, "Oh, you're really like Annie Oakley," you're not like, who the fuck is Annie Oakley? You know, so you can have social cues and stuff. That's how my dad explained it to me. That's why I have to read the stupid books and stuff like that. So with Max, I was like, oh, you like to go racing? Well, Daddy and Jakey just went racing today. They're already there. And the reason Daddy can do that is because he went to school, and now he can take time off of his work to go racing. So that's what I told him. I was like, so if you want to go racing when you're older and do whatever you want to do, then you gotta go to school.
I mean,
like, I don't know
it
what
does
else to
teach
say.
you like general responsibilities, I guess.
But for his age, he needs to learn how to read and write and shit.
Well, yeah, no, that's true.
I'm like, dude, this is non-negotiable until you're like in high school.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, so
like this shit's important. These first few years are like the important years.
My daughter, she keeps saying she wants to become an attorney. So like, there is a lot of things she needs to learn from school to become an attorney. Obviously, there's law and all kinds of things you need to know to be an attorney. And then my son wants to be an underwater welder. So obviously,
a scuba welder, like an underwater scuba welder.
Exactly. So he's going to have to know how to weld. I mean, there's skills. Yeah, there's things you have to learn. You have to know. Well, but they don't necessarily teach you those skills in high school.
They do, though, for him, for geometry and stuff. And then also science.
Yeah.
There's science somewhere in there about fire and water and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I know there's a chemical or some shit that you're going to have to do because how else are you going to get fire underwater?
Well, he just has to go to like a trade school for that
for sure.
Something.
But still, you want to have that. So that's all like important shit. So we're just saying... So people in other countries, I know that you guys have way better education than we do. And I know that just from being... Like, I travel a lot. I'm on planes a lot. And I meet a lot of people from other countries. And it is embarrassing how little we know, and like, but in a lot of other countries, they already know 2-3 languages by the time they're 7. It's just in their school. It's in their public school.
Well, they have their home language, and then they learn English usually.
Yeah,
and then another language.
I was looking at Auckland. I want to go to Auckland.
Where's Auckland?
Auckland.
Oh, Auckland.
Yeah, I think it's in Switzerland. I forget now.
Okay.
I was looking at different places.
Yeah. It's just a silly, kind of a silly name.
Well, so I've always wanted to go there because my mom is Scottish, and it has nothing to do with Scottish, but she whenever, I guess it's a saying in Scotland, like, you know how we're like, oh my god, da 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 da. Hers is ugh. Whenever she's ugh. And so whenever her and my dad, when my mom would be like, oh my god, like, where to Brad, I'd be like, oh my god, Brad. She'd go, oh, Mel. And so he'd be like, oh, Mel's back. She's mad. Mel's back.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I'm always, and then I saw it on the map one time. I was like, oh, I want to go there. But anyways, I was looking over there, and I was looking at different historical sites just to like see if it was like well populated, whatever.
Yeah.
And they had a sign in whatever language they speak, and the sign next to it was in English.
Oh yeah, see.
So English is really the national or the international language, but it's still like, so they learn their language, English, and another language before the time they're like 7. It's ridiculous.
But see, at that age, though, they can just soak it up like a sponge.
So why don't they do that with us?
Well, I mean, here it would be Spanish, Southern California.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
I learned a lot of Spanish. I was in the bilingual program.
I was too, and how much do you speak now?
I know enough to understand when people are talking shit, and I know enough to, like, to communicate, but not fluently, but enough to, like, Spanglish.
That's what I know too.
Spanglish.
Yeah, I know.
If anybody knows what Spanglish is, it's like a mix between English and Spanish. And if somebody is primarily a Spanish speaker or primarily English speaker, you can there's an understation there.
There is something.
Yeah, there's you can communicate. There's an understanding.
As long as. As they speak slow or write it down for me, I can read it better than I can hear it.
Yeah.
The way that we talk is like, well, they do too.
Oh, they're fast, just as fast. Just as fast.
Because I'm like, oh, they talk so fast, but no, we talk fast too.
Yeah,
but we know words in our language.
we know words in our language. We're fluent in the English language. But English American language, because English in like other, like the UK and other places, is completely different than the English in American.
It is.
American English is completely different.
On
our slang, the way that we even pronounce things.
Just from like California to Texas to Kansas, it's New York.
Oh yeah,
it's like different.
Well, Texas is like.
Hey y'all.
Tex-Mex. Oh,
that's food. No, but the oh my gosh, English in England, UK. I watch totally a lot different. Of Netflix there, and they I always have to have the subtitles on.
Yeah.
And I swear I'm going to start, like, my English accent's going to come out. Because when I get really drunk, my Scottish accent will come out every so often.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'll be like, I don't even know what I say because I'm drunk, so I don't remember.
Yeah,
but, like, Alexis would know what I say. Because she'll be like, oh, God, you're Scottish now. And I don't even know what I say, but I'll say things with like a twang, and then also say like their sayings too.
You know what is really
I'll
funny?
be like, oh, let's go have a spot tea. Oh no, what I would say? Oh my gosh, what is that? I don't know. Whatever. Don't.
A spot tea?
A spot tea. No, I would never say that because I don't like tea.
I don't know.
No, it isn't that. It's
I can't do it.
Don't be dreadful or something like that. Like, no, don't be. What is it?
You're on the spot now. You can't do it.
I can't do it. Well, I can't think of the word of like. Not to fret.
Fret.
I say that a lot. Fret.
Fret.
Don't fret.
Is that like worry?
Yeah.
Fret.
Fret. Don't fret. Not fret.
Not fret.
Yeah.
Not fret. So it's funny because like
if I have to be like really drunk, like 3 in the morning drunk.
I'm very like American.
I'll go
like,
have a fag now.
Fag, yeah.
Fag,
so my grandmother, my mom's mom, she was German and like other things.
Knickers.
And she would say fag when I was little, and I always thought fag to me was a cigarette. Always. It never was anything derogatory towards a human or anything. It was literally a cigarette. So then when I heard somebody later in life say like, oh, faggot or fag, and I was like, dude, like, what?
Why are you calling him a cigarette?
Like
that's fucking weird.
Is a cigarette a faggot? Like I literally thought that it was meant cigarette.
Yeah.
Like a fag was like a cigarette. A faggot was a cigarette. And then not even until I was like in high school, I really knew that was like derogatory towards like somebody who was gay or whatever. And I'm just like, that's so weird because that's just how people talked. Like a fag was a cigarette. It's a cigarette. Yeah. And just like gay was happy. Like gay means happy. Like you're gay, you're happy. It doesn't have anything to do with your sexual preference. Yeah. So, and that's how my grandmother, who was German, would also. So it was like, she was like born here or whatever, but like her parents were like from Germany. So it was like, that's how she was raised, is like the way that they would talk. Like you're saying your mom is Scottish, so you have like the Scottish, like sayings and stuff. Yeah,
my mom was still like, my mom's accent was still, when I was little, she would still say mirror and roll her R's for mirror, refrigerator. Like, I can't. I know,
like my grandma would be like I remember it was like the W with like vi, not like Y, it'd be like vi.
Yeah, I wish that I could remember.
And she wasn't even like full on German. It was just like she was from here, but it was like
she grew up like
her family was like Ockelbein. Like their last name was like Ockelbein, so it was like very German, I guess.
My last name was supposed to be a German name, but they shortened it when they came here. On my dad's side. On my dad's side, like 2 generations. Yeah. My maiden last name used to have a Z at the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say it so you guys can't find me.
Well, there's no Ockelbein now. Like Ockelbein is like way back. Like,
no. There's a lot of me, but there's just not enough.
I'm sure there's an Ockelbein somewhere, but like my name's
you
not
guys
Ockelbein.
Isn't. Yeah, for you guys, where mine, I still have direct family with that last name. So
this would have been like my great grandma or great grandma or something.
No, that was my name until I got married. So I'm like, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good. Anyways, okay. So back to what we were talking about. Can you believe it? So the thought police were around, like just like as covert secret people, just walking amongst them.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
I believe it too.
Like
I believe,
CIA
it's just
agents.
like now, like they do that, like the Secret Service. But,
yeah, that is the Secret Service, the CIA.
No, the Secret Service is what watches the president.
But they're still like part of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
They're all secret. CIA, Secret Service, they're all part of it.
And then, so what they did was they spread false rumors, and then they would also eliminated people who they were judging.
Oh yeah,
and who was like bad, and they would just like be like,
yeah,
"Hey, bye,
that's what they do.
You're bad.
Yeah,
I'm all good now." So then Winston got a book from Miss Parsons across the hallway. Remember the one with the 2 little kids that were the spies that were gonna like fake kill him? And so he got a history book from them and was reading it, and what I noticed was that he even said that he wasn't even sure what this was that he was reading was even real. He's like, how much of this is lies and bullshit that's already been reproduced over and over and over again?
Yeah, just propaganda repeating itself.
Yep, exactly.
It did talk about the old days. It talked about before the Glorious Revolution, London was not the beautiful city that they know today. It was dark, it was dirty, it was miserable. And hundreds of thousands of poor people had no boots on their feet, not even a roof to sleep under. So they were basically homeless, clothesless.
But they don't even know if he doesn't even know if that's real, if that really was a thing. And he's like, in his like heart of hearts, he's like, that can't all be true. Yeah. This had to have been changed at some point, because that's all they do is change the truth.
Yeah. I mean, of course, he doesn't want to believe it, but with everything going on, I mean, even it talked about the children that worked for hours in the base, essentially like the labor camps, I guess you would call them, like the factories. And they were flogged with whips if they worked too slowly, and they really fed them nothing but breadcrumbs and water. So they were basically slave labor, and they were kind of tortured in a sense. Like they were starved and just beat and forced to work horrible hours probably, and just to the point where they were severely mistreated and living in severe poverty.
So then Big Brother, well, not Big Brother, but
on the on the flip side, right, you have the capitalists.
Yeah.
Right? So the capitalists, while all this is happening, they're living in these huge mansions, and they have 30 servants to look after them. And they were described as ugly, fat men with wicked faces. And they had a specific uniform. They wore what was called a frock coat. And
I wouldn't say it's a uniform, not like now.
Well,
what they wear now. It was just like probably. Did they call it a uniform?
Yeah, they did say this was the uniform of the capitalists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I feel like uniform wouldn't have come into play until Big Brother took over.
No, the capitalists had a specific uniform, which the book described as a black coat, which is called a frock coat, and a queer, shiny hat shaped like a stove pipe, which was called a top hat. It says this was the uniform of the capitalists. The capitalists owned everything in the world, and everyone else was their slave. They were addressed as Sir, and chief of all the capitalists were called the kings. So they were like the elite, like like above, like in the.
Well, it's just like now with the royals and stuff. They all have servants, and they all have everything going like.
Well, you got to think about you have the
King Charles,
royals, and then you also have people like just in general that are like
celebrities,
so wealthy that they can afford to have all these servants and all these, like they say the uniform with a top hat and a specific coat and stuff. It could be like designer clothes for like a celebrity and stuff, you know?
Exactly.
Like it's similar. There's parallels here with it.
Definitely.
And then it went on to talk about that there was other mentions of bishops and judges and different like lords and
which is
mayors.
The same as what we have now.
Yeah, like, so it kind of trickled down. Like that's like the capitalists, and then you have everybody below, and then you have the people that are just like us.
The proles.
The proles.
We're a prole.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the hierarchy.
I'm actually a lady. I'm not sure if you know this, but I do own an acre in Scotland.
Oh.
Or in England. Okay. I think it's Scotland.
Okay.
You can online. You can buy an acre. I have a certificate and shit.
Okay. I was like, did your mom leave you
No,
this?
not an acre. No. I'm sorry. That's stupid. It is not an acre. It is
a square inch?
No, I got it on deal. It is 1 foot by 5 feet.
Ooh, okay.
It's exactly perfect for me to lay down on.
Oh, okay. We can go take a nap on your land.
No, I can't. It's not enough room for you.
I can lay next to you.
On someone else's land. Go on. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So then it gets kind of even more dark. because now it's going to talk about how the capitalists were allowed to have sex and essentially rape the factory worker women.
Which is like fucking the old people, not old people, but like olden age of America. Like Abraham Lincoln, didn't he, or George Washington or somebody, didn't they always rape their servants? Or their
Abraham
slaves?
Lincoln or George Washington raped their servant? I don't know. that is a very strong claim there. I don't know, but I do.
Somebody did. One of them. I just know it's on money. Maybe it was Franklin. I don't know.
Maybe it was the Benjamin. I don't know, but we can't take that lightly. But I'm sure that over history, there has been
several rapes of slave people.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but that's what the capitalists did, and there was actually a name for it, and it was not uncommon for a party member to do this. It was actually called Jus Prima Noctis. Did I say that right?
I have no idea because I didn't know what it meant until you told me.
So, yeah.
Let me see.
I don't know if you can even see that in our fort, but...
Jus Prima Noctis.
Yeah, so that...
Oh, that was very... Oh.
Yeah, so that means that essentially that they are allowed to have sex with a factory worker. And the way that I took that as rape. Because, I mean, I'm sure there might be factory workers that are willing. Like, you never know, like, if one of these capitalist men may be hot or something. I don't know.
Or because they're trying to up their shit.
Yeah.
You know, like prostitutes, hookers, whatever, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, cool, I will fuck you, and you give me a raise.
Yeah, just like with anything, I'm sure there's some people that they're down for it's not rape. But I think most of it was probably rape. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, they're already sold into the factories when they're sick.
So this was all before the revolution.
Yeah, no, this is before the revolution.
The revolution. So then, So then after the revolution, they were saying the infant mortality rates were lower, food rations were better, there were shorter working hours and longer lifespans. Although Winston is like, this is bullshit. He like straight up calls it. Like,
I mean, it is bullshit.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
And then Winston talks about his past even before Catherine, and in the 60s when the first Great Purge happened. Mm-hmm. When the first Great Purge happened, all of the leaders of the revolution were all wiped out at once, other than dun dun dun. Big Brother.
Oh, of course.
Well, that's my conspiracy thing. Because I don't think the book actually says Big Brother, but my thought is that they were all one unit and then Big Brother turned on them all.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So, all the others were traitors.
Yeah.
And Goldstein fled into hiding. Some of them just disappeared. And then the rest were publicly executed. Oh. And the last survivors were Jones, Aronson, and Rutherford. And by 1965, all three had been arrested for embezzlement, murder, talking to the enemy, and acts of sabotage. And so obviously, I think that Big Brother obviously did this to be top dog.
Yeah.
Like whoever Big Brother is, whoever's behind Big Brother.
Yeah.
But we don't know who Big Brother is. Is he? Because I always kind of thought Big Brother was just like this entity.
I took it as like the government or something.
I didn't think that it was a real person per se.
Yeah.
But it's almost like Wizard of Oz when you open the shield. Who is the Wizard of Oz? You know, like, who is Big Brother? Who's
behind the curtain?
Who's behind the curtain? Who's Big Brother? You know?
Exactly.
And so how scary is it, though, when the very first purge happens, right? Everything is normal. Everything is la, 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 la. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, all these people are being massacred and publicly executed. It would be like right now if the, like, Biden was like, okay, so we're going to take the first lady and the secretary of the state and every governor, and we're just gonna kill them all because they are traitors and they fought against me. Hey guys, so now we're going under the Biden rule. Is that cool? And everyone will be like, okay, cool, no problem. we believe you, whatever. Like, that would be so scary, as that being the first purge. And then he's like, and if anybody, decides to not listen to me, then you'll be executed as well.
Yeah, you're just going to be publicly hanged.
We're all on the same page? Cool, bye. It's almost like a Hitler Nazi thing. And I wonder if that's where he got this idea from the book, because this is right after Hitler.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All that happened. Yeah. So crazy. And so this, so after Jones, Harrison, and Rutherford had publicly confessed, they were pardoned and placed back into the party. So then I started to think about it, and I'm like, what if one of them is Big Brother?
One of those three?
One of those three. Except, as we continue forward, my theory goes to shit. So then, even though they were pardoned, Winston knew that they would be dead. Because they're traitors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're thinking on their own. They're not... They already know the plan. They know the grand scheme. They can't stick around, right?
No, there's no way.
And no one escaped the thought police. So, I found out that Rutherford was a political cartoonist.
Yes.
That's interesting, right?
It is.
Because we do have those now.
We do, yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting. And all three were then rearrested. And they were engaged in... they were oh my gosh, I can't say this right. They engaged in fresh conspiracies. After their release, they were executed.
Oh, of course they were executed. Yeah.
So they pretty much got released, and when they got released, they started to make up their own conspiracies all over again. Mm-hmm. So then they got rearrested for sabotage, etc., and then they were executed. And this was a warning to posterity. To be like, if you don't do what I do, if you don't follow rules, if you don't follow Big Brother, this is gonna be you. So
yeah, they were basically made an example.
Yeah, well, I think the whole party of the revolution was made as an example, other than
But
Big Brother.
Three specific...
Yeah, because they were already pardoned and everything, so you thought that they were all good, but they weren't. So, then a few years later, while at work... Winston, I'm kind of skipping ahead. Do you have anything to say?
No,
about
I'm
any
right
of
on
this?
track with you.
Because I'm like 3 pages ahead. Then that was a whole summary of like 3 pages. So
yeah, no, that's
because I'm already like on page 78. Like, I mean, there was
I'm
a lot of words.
I'm on page 78 also.
Oh, okay, good.
That's what I had. The only thing that I would say is that the telescreen had a song that they were singing during this time of the executions and everything, and it said, "Under the spreading chestnut tree, I sold you and you sold me. There lie they and there lie we under the spreading chestnut tree."
I wonder what that means.
I don't know. It was just
I
weird.
wonder if that's going to be a clue for later or something. That's interesting.
Well, the chestnut tree was a cafe
that they were at.
So it has to do with that cafe.
Maybe that cafe ratted them out and was like, "Hey, they're over here. Come and get them."
That's what I was thinking. It's kind of eerie, and it's kind of like, it's like they're saying, we know, like, because they're always watching. Like, they know what's going on there. You know,
yeah,
like
maybe even though there's no telescreens down in that area or whatever.
For whatever reason, they have their spies or whatever. They know what's going on at Chestnut Tree Cafe.
Yeah, maybe that'll come up later in the book. That is something to mention. Yeah. So, anyways, a few years later, while at work, after they were executed, so we're talking, this all went down in the 60s,
like
early
10
70s.
years later, right?
So, like 10 years later, yeah. Winston was at work, and he got a Times cut out with a picture on it. So he got a Times news article with a picture on it through his little, at work, through his little, like, tube thing. What do they call them? The little teletubes, whatever. What, you know, the thing that,
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to remember the name of it, and I'm blanking also on the name right now, and I am desperately trying to find the name in my notes. But it is basically like the tubes in the bank. Like, we used to go to the bank back in the day.
Yeah.
And you would put you would sign your check or whatever, and you would put it in this tube, and the tube would like suck it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then that's basically what they use.
And we've talked about this before, and I can't think of I can't even find the name of it on here. The pneumatic tube. It's just called the pneumatic tube.
Oh, pneumatic tube. Okay, yeah, I thought there was like some other name for it.
Thanks for sticking with us, you guys. That was really rough on both of us.
No, because I'm like, wait a minute. What is the word? What is the word?
So they so the picture of the New York Times article was 3 men.
Yeah. That
was obviously Jones, Rutherford, and Aronson.
Yes.
And it was the day this picture was taken in New York on the day that they supposedly confessed to being in Siberia doing this bad shit that they confessed to.
Mm-hmm.
So then it became, well, obviously their confessions were lies.
Yeah, it was probably forced confessions. Come on.
Then Winston goes back and he's like, but was it lies or was this already changed?
I feel like it was a forced confession.
How many things have already been changed? All he can go back and look at what was produced at that time. So
that's true.
What's the truth and what's not? He's even questioning everything. He doesn't know.
How many times has it been rewritten?
Mm-hmm, exactly. But he's thinking that he needs to get this out. Because if he could get this picture out there, it was enough to blow the party to atoms if in some way it could have been published to the world and its significance made known. And then this motherfucker Winston, you know what he does?
It would blow the fuck up, basically.
Yeah, it would just fucking, the whole party would just, then he would get the riots, and he would be able to uphold the, overthrow the party. But what does he do with the picture? Instead of doing anything with it, he just throws it in the memory tube. Yeah, which, as we know, he throws it away.
It goes in the fire.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I would have tried to
Somebody sent that to him.
Yeah, but who, we don't know. But I would have tried to fold it up and put it in my pocket or something.
Anything. Just keep it.
Put it in his pocket discreetly, and then he could have went home, put it in his diary or something.
And figure it out from there.
I don't know. Somewhere in his house.
Yeah, something. Whatever. That pissed me off, though. I'm like, this motherfucker, are you fucking with me?
No, he just incinerated it.
And so, but he did say that very likely the confessions had been rewritten until the original facts and dates no longer had the smallest significance.
And maybe that's why he did.
Not only changed, but changed continuously.
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off, but maybe that's why he did just throw it away, because he's like
fuck
he doesn't even believe it. But it's a photograph, though. It's different from written words.
But they have the actors. Remember that they do the fake photos.
Yeah, they do have the actors.
So who fucking even knows any of this shit? You know, it's bullshit. So, anyways, then I'm just so disappointed. Mm-hmm. I'm like so mad at him.
Yeah, and then he's thinking like he understands how, but he doesn't understand why. That's what he wrote.
Yeah, I understand how, I do not understand why. And then he thinks that maybe he's crazy.
Yeah, he thought he was a lunatic.
Yeah. But then he has so much self-doubt, the craziness, the lunaticness. Lunacy. What's the word? What would be the word?
Lunatic?
No, the other one. Lunacy. I'm not sure. Whatever.
Lunatic?
Insanity.
Insane in the membrane.
So he's writing. So then he, all of a sudden he's like, because he's been saying, why am I writing all this down? Like, what's the point of this? Mm-hmm. And then he has this thought about O'Brien. Mm-hmm. Remember, O'Brien came up in the very first chapter, the very first 2 minutes of Hate.
Yes.
And O'Brien gave him a freaking look. And O'Brien was in the upper people. He was an upper party member, and he gave him a look like, I know this is bullshit. Like, almost like a longing look of like, I need someone else out there. Like, I need some sort of communication, because I know that this is bullshit. I need somebody else to understand that with me, you know? And so he's like, that's it. I'm writing this for O'Brien. Yeah. So hopefully O'Brien will get it. And he's an upper person. He's a he's an upper party member, so maybe he'll do something.
But, like, how is he even going to give it to him? I don't understand, you know?
I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out. We're only not even a third of the way through this. And it's almost like he had this, like, aha moment. Like, aha! And he had self-discovery. He knew for certain that they were wrong and he was right. Because he started to doubt himself, and he's like, dude, am I just crazy? Like, am I having a multiple personality disorder? Am I the problem, or is it the party? And then all of a sudden, he's like, no, you know what? Fuck this shit. I know that I'm right. These people are the issue.
Well, that's because the party consistently tells you to reject the evidence of your own eyes and ears. So you would start thinking you're crazy because they're constantly telling you to reject what you see with your own eyes and ears, that it would constantly make you just disbelieve everything. And
he even said, or the book says, in the end, the party would announce that 2 and 2 made 5, and you would have to believe it.
Yeah.
And he even goes into gravity, and he goes into all this stuff like, dude, I know that gravity is real. They can't change my mind on that. I know this. I know that. And no matter what they do, like, I'm not budging on this shit. Like, this is real. And these are facts. And they are trying to fuck with every fact that they can. But the fact is that they can't fuck with these facts.
But the thing about Winston is he does have a strong will, and he hasn't completely lost his sense. So he is still capable of these thoughts. Which I don't know how the thought police hasn't got to him yet, because
I know, but he really hides it. He's like, at one part of the book, he's like, I just need to, like, facial expressions. I can control twitches. I can control eye movement. I just can't control my fucking heartbeat.
He's just so conditioned,
Yeah, he's just like, I can't do my heartbeat. Like, that's a natural occurrence, and that's something the thought police can pick up on.
Because a heartbeat is almost subconscious. Like, your heart is just going, you know? Like, you
can
try to control it with breathing. Like, if you're having, like, a panic attack, or you're feeling like you need to do breath work or something to, like, relax and reset and meditate.
Like, but your heart, like, it just goes.
But if you're just sitting there and we're just talking, I don't know how my heart is beating right now.
I don't know. God.
Like, you know, I'm not that self-aware right now of how my heart is beating.
I don't know either, and I'm just feeling myself.
I'm trying to find my heart. But I know, like, if I do breath work, or if I'm like I don't necessarily meditate, but I do breath work from time to time, and it does put you in kind of like another, I don't want to say world, but kind of like
I really want to do that. I want to meditate.
You want to do breath work? I have one I can do with you. I have multiple that I can do with you.
Okay, we'll do it after this. Yeah. I want to try, because I've never done breath work.
Yeah, it's just,
I've never done that.
Like controlled breathing, and just like kind of, it takes you to another place, and your whole body feels like vibrations, and your whole body
I already feel
like
vibration. I don't want any more.
No, it's not bad though. It's not negative. It's like it's kind of like a relief.
Yeah. Cool. We'll play
it's
with
a relief.
that.
It's
later.
a relief. Okay. Yeah.
So, anyways, the chapter ends with Winston writing in the chapter in his diary, and it says, "Freedom is the freedom to say that 2 + 2 make 4. If that is granted, all else follows." So, as long as you can continue to say 2 + 2 is 4, you have freedom. And that's what they're saying. That's what he's pretty much saying, that, like, just down to the basic.
Yeah, because the party's going to contradict that.
Yeah, just the basicness. So, this has been, like, a really long chapter, and I think that it's all because of our tangents in the beginning.
No, but
I hope that you guys love it.
There was so much more compared to the other part. Part 6. That was just short very and sweet and to the point, and it just was what it was. This was more in depth.
I feel like that could have almost done 2 chapters, just because the first part, and then, like, I was reading it last night and I had to finish reading it this morning, because I was like, as soon as it was like about in the 60s and the first purge, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not doing this tonight. Oh no. And I was like, that's a good stopping point.
This is pretty intense.
Yeah, and I was already halfway through the chapter, and I'm like, why did they do this? If they're gonna break it up so much, they should. This is a total different thought. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So, anyways,
it's a lot for only part 7.
In the chapter 1,
part 7.
Yeah, we're not even through the book. So, anyways,
we're on page 81.
Out of
folks.
how many pages?
Come on, folks.
Folks, we are on page 81 out of... Hold on, there's a long ass afterword. Out of 312. So we are about a third of the way through.
I mean, it's not even that big of a book. But
It
there's
isn't,
so much
but
information.
there's a lot. Well, and we're trying to learn a whole new world and shit. I feel like we are reading through it a lot quicker because we're like understanding newspeak and doublethink and like
True.
all these,
Yeah.
all these like languages and different word and verbiage and the way that they talk. And the first few chapters was really, really, really rough. But
I think it always is with any like book like this. You're gonna get to know the characters and everything, and it's kind of like
yeah, I like easy reads. Like I like it when.
Well, okay, I have a question for you. Do you remember the first book that you ever finished, like from like that wasn't a school
Yes.
assigned book?
Yes.
What book was that?
It was Something Borrowed.
Something Borrowed?
And they made a movie out of it and everything. I think that was it. I think it was Something Borrowed. And my old coworker got me into reading. And it was by Emily Giffin. And I was like 25. No,
wow.
I wasn't that old. I was like 22. But yeah, it took me so long to get into reading. I just never got into it. I didn't like it. I don't know. And now, like right now I'm reading, oh my gosh, what's it called? The Maid's Tale or something. I don't know. I'm not that far into it.
Maid's
But-
Tale?
Yeah, it's like the Handmaid's Secret or something. Like
Handmaid?
the secret.
Is that the
No,
Hulu special?
no.
I was like, did they make that into a book?
No, this is, it probably was a book first, but this was, I'm not, it's by somebody like Frida or something. I'm not sure. It has a blue cover, and it's like the secrets from within the maid, or,
Okay.
and the cover has a key looking through a doorway with her eye,
yeah.
like pretty much like all the secrets of
That's funny.
a maid, like a nanny. I don't
So
know.
my first book that I ever read, I think I was like that I finished from start to, that wasn't from school. I think I was about 16 or 17. It was called Louisiana Love Song.
That's cute. I love Louisiana.
It was a Louisiana love song. It was a total like romance, smutty romance book. And I remember like they lived on the bayou, and it was like
I love it.
Yeah, and like they made love on the boat, and it was like
Oh
this
my
whole
gosh.
like, and he thrust his manhood into her.
Oh my God.
And it was like
No,
this full on.
You
like,
did a 99-cent romance
Full
novel
on.
at like
was
the grocery store. You
No.
went to the grocery store.
No. This is when you used to get the. I don't know if you remember, but you could get the Harlequin
Yes,
romance
I got the
novels
wine
in the
glasses
mail.
when I was 12.
In
Yeah.
the mail, you could get the Harlequin.
I got them for
Romance
fun. My mom was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
When I showed up in the mail, and I'm like, "I don't know." They said that I could get some books for free, and I got wine glasses. And she's like, "You're 12. Give me the books." And I was like, "Can I keep the glasses?" And she's like, "You're not drinking wine." And I had the pink rose tinted glasses for fucking ever.
I'm telling you, it was like I can get free books, or it was like maybe like
I'm telling you.
$1 or something.
Yeah, like the $4.90 or the $2.99 bucks at the grocery store. My mom would always get.
Yes. So that
Oh
was my full on.
That's a pretty gnarly read, though, I think. Isn't that like a lot?
For like 16, 17. I mean, I wasn't that young. I was like 16.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like, it was still like
One of my favorites
so
was
cringy.
one of my favorites was The Lucky One from Nicholas Sparks, and it was
Oh,
before the
yeah.
movie came out.
Yes.
And then the movie came out, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it was fun to see the difference. Zac Efron.
Yes.
Yes.
We love Zac Efron.
That's my
Shout out to
husband's.
Zac Efron.
That's my husband's top 5 humans, like male
okay.
humans, like crushes, like if he was gay or whatever.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
he's one of them, and then
Yeah.
I won't go into anybody else, but Zac Efron is.
No, I mean, he's handsome.
Well, no, it's because of Dirty Grandpa.
But he can sing and dance.
And he's like, I don't understand why his body is like that. I like da-da-da-da. It was Dirty Grandpa. We have that movie on Amazon, on DVD, on Blu-ray, on like 3D. If we could have 3D with we'd have it on that. Like, yeah, it's a big deal for Brad. He loves fucking Zac Efron.
I don't know if I've seen that movie, though.
Oh, you're gonna have to. You'll have to. Well, come anywhere because we have it all over the place. We literally have it in the trailer. We have a copy in the desert. We have a copy everywhere. That's his favorite fucking movie.
That is it's a good movie then.
It's funny. Yeah, it's really good. Anyways, all right. So we hope that you love our bantering back and forth because this whole episode has been bantering. And
it has been a lot of
banter. There's been a lot of talking about us. So love us.
And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram,
and we're on everywhere that podcasts are.
All across the world.
And if you guys have come this far, you guys are the real MVPs. Woo.
Yes, thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.